as an undergraduate, I studied at the University of Utah and also Brigham Young University, and mostly at the University of Utah. And as I was a student there, I would just get up every morning and kind of have my routine. I'd go through my routine, and most of the time I'd catch the bus and I'd ride it to school. So the University of Utah had this program where you got free bus fare. So it's great. It's really convenient, and it saved me a lot of money. And plus, parking at the U was a pain in the neck. So it was a good thing. So one morning, I just got up, my normal routine. Didn't think too much about what was going on. Brushed my teeth, got ready, took a shower, that kind of thing, just normal things. I grabbed my backpack, and I've been studying, been working, just kind of had the usual day-to-day sort of concerns. And I left, got on the bus, and as I got on the bus, I could hear people talking about something that seemed very concerning. And people were really worried, and I could just hear kind of whisperings of what was going on, but I didn't really have any idea of what was up. So I got to the University of Utah. Any of you that are familiar with the campus, the bus dropped me off but near the business building, and I walked across campus, and I had classes clear on the other side of campus that morning. And so as I walked across campus, I would cut through the student union building, which is kind of a little shortcut. And I was cutting through the student union building, and as I walked into that building, my life completely changed. And it was just interesting because I got up that morning concerned about school, concerned about social life, concerned about, my own money, whatever the circumstances were, how I was going to pay tuition, whatever. And all of a sudden I walk in this building just kind of completely randomly, and all the people were standing around. Some people were crying. All the TVs were on, and there were these news broadcasts of these horrific events. And the date was September 11th. And I don't know if you guys remember like exactly where you were at or what was going on in your life on that day, but as I walked in that room or into that building, into the student union of this great university, all of a sudden I started seeing images of these horrific events, as I mentioned, and I completely just stopped. And all my concerns about school left. I didn't even care. No offense. And all of my concerns about my social life or money or whatever things I'd been worrying about just completely left me. I took my backpack off and I set it down, and I stood there for 10 or 15 minutes just watching these events unfold as these airplanes crashed into those twin towers, and the escalation after that happened. Eventually, after 10 or 15 minutes, I actually sat down, and I stayed there for a couple of hours just listening to these broadcasts and these updates. And I missed my class, and our class ended up being canceled that day. But at the time, I didn't realize that. And then a few hours later, I went home, and it was interesting to me to go through that event. But it was also interesting in the aftermath to kind of see what effect that had on our world, on our country. And I'm not saying, and I don't want to be trite, and I don't want to be lighthearted or disrespectful in any way. But there was something that seemed to change for a few months after that event happened, where people seemed a little bit more concerned about each other, and where people seemed a little bit more grateful for their blessings and for the opportunities they have and for where we live and for our country. And there seemed to be a little bit more of a patriotic sense and unity to what people were interested in and how they were responding to things. And that really kind of touched me. And I've thought about that a lot since. And, as time's gone on, I haven't, kept the perspective that I had on that day. And that maybe isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think sometimes when crazy things happen, it's interesting how they can change our perspective. And that's definitely what happened to me on that day. And so I just think what a blessing it is to live in a free country and to live in a place where we can worship as we please, and where we can go to school at a great university and participate in a program like this MBA program, where we can associate with other people from other parts of the world, and where we have so many opportunities that that maybe people don't have in other places. Not that there aren't other opportunities in other places, that's not what I'm saying, but we definitely have a lot of blessings and a lot of opportunities here that other countries don't, and other places don't. And I feel so fortunate this day for what I have, and I feel so fortunate for the chance to live in this country, and I'm grateful.